Yeah, hi Jay. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll see if others will join. Then we can start.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can go and start the session. Meantime, if others are available, they can join the session. So let me share my screen. So we can go to the all instance. So we'll continue from where we end up yesterday. So yesterday we are seeing that VBCS. So we'll go to the Visual Builder back again. So yesterday we have seen that okay, how we can go and create our application from inbuilt database, right? So whatever the data we have from here, we how we can go and do that, all right? So today we'll see if suppose we get the data from third party, right? So for example, we'll take that example of the Fusion. That okay, if we can get the data from the Fusion, how we can go and bring that data inside the system. So first let us go and test the Trust API. So we can see and we can use this one, get all suppliers. So let me just go to the instance. So this is our instance what we have. And we can say send. So if you see right, what is happening, right? We are able to see the data from this system, right? So this data is coming from some third party, right? So Fusion it is coming. So in the VBCS, right? If you have to create that application from this one, right? How we can go and do? So in the yesterday, what we have done, right? We have created our own business object, which is nothing but the table, and then we have created. So we'll go and create our second application today. You can say supplier first. We can go with the empty. We can do the finish. So we will come here. So today, right, in this one, right, what we do, right? First, we can go and create our application. So we can say here, I can give the name as supplier app and create. So again, our blank application created, right? So this time, right, for the data, right, what we will do, right? From where we'll bring the data, right? We will not use a business object, right? Either we can go and create a business object and then we can go do from that one, right? Otherwise, what is the second option? We can go to the service and here we can go and define our service. So now what is this VBCS, right? So in the VBCS, whatever the screen will create, right? So each and everything, it will be based on the REST API only. Whether we create the business object also, right? So that will also be on the based on REST API only. So if I will go to that yesterday's application, right? First tab. In this one, if you see, right, whatever we did yesterday, right? So for the business objects also, right? The REST APIs will be generated. If you see, if we come to the endpoint, right? So here, all the REST APIs are available, correct? It means in the UI, whatever screen will do, right? Whether we'll use from the business object or whether we do from the REST API, right? So internally, it will go and use the REST API only. So yesterday, whatever the page we are creating, right? So what that pages was doing, so those pages was using the endpoints only. So these endpoints only they are using. Get many, create, right? So all those things it is using from here only. So it means like the UI will be designed or the UI will take the data or it will do that operations with the help of REST API. Now that REST API will be either it can be inbuilt or it can be external. So when we create any business object for each activity, right, one endpoint will be created. If you see get many, so it will bring all the records. This is for the create. Then we wanted to get one record, we wanted to update and we wanted to delete, right? It means like for all the activities, right, we will have one endpoint, right? So same way, right, what we do, we can go and create our application. So we can come into this one. So for what we need to do, right, we have to come here and we need to define the service connection here. So we can come to the service connection and here three options are there. Select from catalog, defined by specification, defined by endpoint, right? So if we have configured something, right, predefined, so we can go and see from the catalog. And if you have some specification document, so we can do that one. And this is the third option, which we can go with the REST API defined by endpoint. So we can go and click into this one. So here we can go and give the endpoint here. So whatever this endpoint we have, right? In the Postman we have tried out, right? So this is a complete URL we have to go and give here. Correct. So method is the get method. This is what we have. If you see it, no matching backend found. So what will happen, right? The backend will also create. If we already have the backend, right, then the backend will not create. So what is this backend is, right? So this is the place. So here we can go and define the service connection and here we can go and define the target system backend, right? So backend is nothing but like the endpoint, right? That okay on this number because in this same, right? In this same system, right? It's not necessarily only supplier will do, right? We can go and do a number of things, right? So the endpoint is this supplier. it can have like invoice, purchase order, anything it can have, right? So when we create the service connection, the backend will be created automatically. So we can say defined by endpoint. We can go and give again here, and what it will do, right? It will bring get many records, right? So we can say get many records. So we can say create backend. So what is the backend name we can say, right? We can say Fusion, right? Then what will happen, right? We can say we need that authentication. What is that authentication, right? So basic authentication we have. Then where we can do, right? If you see, right, only username field it is coming. So we have to click into in this edit button, and then username and password will come. So we can go and enter this username and password here. And we can do the save, right? We are able to do. Now what we do, right? We can say next. Then service name will come. So our backend got created. Now what is the service name we create here, right? So this is for the supply. So we'll give the supplier as a name here, right? Now we can go and click into create, or if you see, right, here it will go and show all that one. What is the server, right? What is the instance? What is the credentials? Then what is that operation, right? It will do get suppliers operation. We can go and see the request, the response, and we can do the test here. So whatever that our API, right, we can go and do the send here, and we can go and validate from here. So if you see it, this is that output will come. So this output, right, we can go and do in the save. If you see, right, there is no save response as of now, right? So whatever the endpoint came, right, we can go and do it save. So what will happen, right? Our system will understand that, okay, if you see schema created, for example, this time if I will come into the response, so it will show that, okay, this is how the output will look like, right? So now what we do, right, we can say create. So if you see it, supply REST API got created. If I will come to the backend, if you see right here, Fusion backend got created. So custom authentication, this is your server. This is the endpoint we have for this one. Then in this one, headers and source, whatever we have, right? So it got created here, correct? Now backend is like one system, right? So in this tab 58, right, we can go and use any number of services. So if there, like supplier is the one service, right? So supplier is the one service. Then in this one, right, what is the endpoint we have, right? So get man is the endpoint what we have, correct? Then here we have the header and we have the source correspondingly, correct? So now what we have done, right? We have configured this. We have configured this one, right? Now what we'll do, right? We'll go and put this data into our table, into our UI, right? That okay, how the data will bring, correct? So first we can come and we can remove all these thing. So we can come and we can remove the code. So it will have the blank page, correct? Now what we do, right? We can come and we need to place the table here first, right? So what we do, right? We can come and we can go and place the table here. So we can come to the components and table. So we can go and put the table here. Now this time, right, we can go and add the data, right? So we can click into add data. So whatever we did yesterday, right, same thing. But this time, right, we'll not use the business object. What we'll use, right, we will use a supplier. So we'll go and use this one. We can go and say here, get, we can say next. Now, if you see, right, in this one, right, all the endpoints are there. So whatever the data we need, right, so corresponding data, we can come here and we can go and put here. So what all things we need here? So supplier ID we need this supplier, we need supplier number, right? Supplier type we can say status, we can say tax organization type, tax reporting name we can take. So whatever things we need, right? So those things we can bring. If we don't need some information, so if we need everything, we can bring everything. If we don't need something, we can do. So if you say in this one, right, our system will not able to understand what is a primary key. So we need to give here primary key. So our supply ID will become the primary key, right? So supplier ID, we can go and say that, okay, this is the primary key what we have. Correct. Now we can go and do the next, and we can do the finish here. So if you see, right, all the data, it will start coming here. If you see, right, this is the data which is started coming. Now we can go and run this one. So from where this data is coming, right? So this data is coming from the Fusion. Are we doing anything for this one? No, right? So from where this data is coming? So this data is coming from the Fusion system, right? Or third party, right? So if any changes, anything will happen into the Fusion, right? So directly we'll get the data from there, right? So that is what we can go and see, and how we can go and get the data from the third party, correct? So this is how we can create. Now, if you have to create some other endpoints, right? So if you see, right, if I will come into this one, right? If I will say I wanted to do the create page, right? So if you see, then nothing is there, right? So I cannot go and create the create page. So if I wanted to create the create page, right, what will happen, right? I have to come into this supplier endpoints, and I have to go and create one more endpoint here, right? So I can go and click into plus, and what I do, right? I need to create the endpoint, right? So in this one, what we happen, right? So we are using the Fusion one, right? So for create supplier, what we have, right? So this is the one we have. So we can write here suppliers. And what type of REST API, right? It is a post method, right? So we can come here and we can say post method we need, correct? Then it will return only one object only. So we can say get one only, because whatever object it will create, right? So that it will go and do, correct? Now we can say request. What is the request will look like? Parameter body. So we can say here, we can come, and this is how the our request payload will look like. So we can go and put the request payload here, correct? Then what will happen, right? So we can say save example. We can come to the response. So we can go and test it out, right? So by creating one record, we can go and test it out into the system. So this is the endpoint what we have. So what we'll do, right? Let me go and log in into the application first. Refresh. So we can go to our procurement and supplier. So manage supplier. Manage suppliers, right? So we came here. Now we'll go and test it out from here. What I will do, right? I will say here. I will pass here. Instead of rest, I will say VBCS. VBCS supplier one. Rest all information, right? I can write here 770 770, right? And now we'll say send request. So if you say 201, it got created. So this is how the output will come. So we can say save as example. If I will go and see this one, right? B21 VBCS. So if you said new record got created, right? For the testing purpose, right? So we can go and save this one. So what happened, right? We have created get one else, right? So it means that this is the what we have done, right? For the creation purpose we have done, correct? We can go and now create our page. So we can come here, we can say add create button. So once we come into this one, right? So let me just refresh here why it's not coming. Add create button. Okay, so it looks like it's not coming, that one. Yeah, so if you said because of this action hint it is not coming, right? So we have to use the create here. So it got saved. Now let us come back again into this page. Add create. So if you say it, now it will come, right? Previously it was not coming because we have used that action hint. So now it is coming, right? So what we do, right? We can select all that thing, that okay, each and everything we wanted to bring. And we can say that okay, these all values, right? We can go and pass. So we can just rearrange these things into, so this supplier we need into the top. Then supplier type. So rest is okay, right? We can say finish. So what happened, right? Our create supplier button will also come. We can go and run the button. So if I will click into create supplier, so what will happen, right? So this is that all information it will come, right? So we can go and enter this one, right? So let us try to create record here. So this is what all informations we have. So we can go and pass one by one. So we'll write VBCS supply to, then supply type we can say services. Business relationship will be prospective. Chief executive name we can enter anything. Title we can say CTO. Website we can say www.example.com. DUNS number what we have, right? So this is the DUNS number we have. So we will write 771. Mission statement we can have null. One time supplier flag we can enable. Tax organization type corporation. Country what we are passing, United States. And taxpayer ID we are passing. So we can go and copy this one. 772. And this also into 2. Right. So this is what we do. We can go and click into save. So if you see, right, supply record created successfully, right? If I will go and search into our Fusion system, right? So earlier only one record was there. Now we can do the search. So if you see, right, VBCS supply to, right? So it means two records got created, right? So this is how we can go and create the system like from the UI only, right? So we are able to do this one, right? Now what is the next activity we can go and do here, right? So in this endpoint, right, we have the update, right? So it means we can go and update one supplier also. In case if we wanted to update it, we can update also. We can do the get one also, right? So first we'll do the get one. So for that one, right, what we have to do, right? So this one, right, add detail page. But if I will click, nothing it will come, right? Because we don't have any endpoint for that one. So again, we have to come back here. And what we do, right, we can come into this one and we can go and define again one more endpoint. So two endpoints we have defined till now, right? So we can go and create one more endpoint. So in this one, right, what will happen, right? We need to go and pass this one, right? So if you wanted to get one, so this is what we need to do. So we can go and use here, and then we need to pass the supplier ID here. So we can write in the curly braces because it is a template parameter, right? We can just supplier ID. right? What it will do, right? What is the hint, right? So we can say this is a get one, right? It will try to retrieve the data. So we can say get one. Request payload. So whatever the parameter we have created, so that will come as a path parameter here. It is a string. Response, what will happen, right? It will come some response. So we can go and test it out first, whether our API is working or not, right? So what we do, right? We can come to this one, get all suppliers, and I can pass this supplier ID to see the data, whether it is coming or not. So we can go and pass that value here, and we can just send request. So status pending. If you see, right, we are getting that output. So we can go and save this example. So in the response also, right, it will know what all things will come. We can go and do the save now. So if you see, right, what we have done, right, we have created this also. Now we can come back to our page again. And now what we'll do, right, we'll go and create our detail page. So we can come here. So if you see it this time, here the option will come. So what we'll say, right, we can say that, okay, we wanted to show each and everything, right? On the detail page, we'll say everything. Label, right, I can say get supply detail. Right? Page title and all those things that it have, we can do the finish. So get supply again. We can go and run the page again. So if I will click into this one, right, then once I will click into this one, right, it will go to the next page, and here it will go and display all the values. If you see, right, whatever the values we have, right, so each and everything it will go and show here, right? So wherever there is no value, it will just go show nothing, but we have whatever values, right, it will go and show all the values into this one, right? So this is what we are able to see and how we can go and see, right? So this is what we have into this one, right? Now what is the next one, right? If you wanted to update, right, so we can go and use that update command also. So this is what we have, right, updated. So again, same kind of thing we have to use, right? So we can come here, copy. We can go to the supplier. We need to create one more endpoint. We can give here, and we will pass the supplier ID in the curly braces. Right? What it will do, it, we are trying to do the update. So we can say update. We can do the save now. Okay, so this is why it's giving error, because we are trying to do get here, right? So it is a post method here, right? It is a patch method, sorry. So here we have to select the patch method. Now if I will do save, right, it will be saved. Page method requires a body to be defined usable. You may want to keep the dialog open and define a request ready. We can say finish. So if you see, right, it came wrong, right? Double came here. So we can come back again. We can go and modify this one. Error. We can come back again to the endpoints. So this is not working, right? So what we do, right, we can go and edit here. Okay, so what we do, right, we can just delete this one and we can recreate. So we can come here, delete this endpoint and delete. Then we can go and recreate again. So this time we'll go and put only one here. We'll say this is a patch supplier ID. So and this is the update we are doing. We can go and do the save and finish. So if you select update, we are done. We can come to this one. So what we need to do, right? We need to pass the request body, right? That okay, what all things it will we can go and do. So we can come here. We can do the body. So this is a sample thing what we can do, right? That okay, these all information we wanted to update. We can put save as example. We can go and try out the response. So we can go and do the testing for one of the integration. One. What we do, right? We can go and create from one, or we can go and modify in this one, right? In this one, maybe that website and all those informations are coming null, right? So we'll go and try to put here. So we can go to the supplier ID here. We can come to the body, and these informations we wanted to go and pass. So let me just go open this list supplies into the system. So if you see right here, we don't have these values, right? This one, CTO and all informations. So we'll try to go and test it out from here. Send request pending. So 200, okay. We can go and save this example. So our thing is created. So this time if I will go and search again, supplier. So it will go and show these values, right? So these values are there here, right? So let me just go and remove these values again. Let us see if we can save from here without error. So we are able to save. Let me close, open again. So now there is no value into these fields, right? Now we'll try to do with our OIC VBCS. So we can come back here and we see that, okay, we need the update page also, correct? So we can say edit page. In this one endpoint is coming. So whatever that information we have it, so we can go and put all those informations. So what all things we need here? Corporate website, chief executive title, chief executive name, then it will be in the last years on year established, year incorporated, and mission statement. So these are into the alphabetical order, right? So we can say mission statement. We need these things, right? We can say edit, supplier, and finish. Now we can go and run the page again. So I will come back into this one. We can say edit supplier. So all these informations, right, we wanted to update. So if you see it, corporate website is already there, so it fill that value. If I will see, right, if you see corporate website, right, it was there only. We have not replaced that one. So that value is coming automatically here. We can say executive, we can say CEO, we can write comma, we can say 2025. Here in corporate 2025. Mission statement, we can say to be best in market. And we can do the same. So we have updated. Now let us go and see again here that okay whether the informations got updated or not. So if you see it, all the values are able to update, right? It means it is working fine. We can come back again. We can null again everything. That okay, we don't need anything. So we can just save. So what will happen, right? It will go and save everything with the null value. You can just go and refresh. So if you see this time, right? Okay, it will not come like this one. You can come back and need to reload this one again. So if you see it, all these values are gone away, right? So this is how we are able to do the operations into this one, right? How we can go and do that thing into our system. So if you said all the rest endpoint, right? So this time we are not using our own database, right? What we are doing, right? We are doing all that operations with the REST APIs only. With the third party only we are doing directly, right? So this is how we can go and do. So this is just a simple thing what we are doing. Here we can go and write all the code and write. So if you go in detail, right? So too many things will be there, right? Whatever we are creating, right? So for each button, right? Action chain is creating, event listener will be created, right? So all those things will be created. So as this course is there only for the OIC main intention, so we'll just capture this only. But in case if you need to discuss in detail, right, or if you need to have the in detail of the VBCS training, right, you can let me know after the OIC class, right? We can plan that one. But in this OIC, right, this is how that introduction what we have, right? So this is how we can go and create the VBCS from the REST APIs also. So any questions if anyone has, let me know. We can go and take those questions now.
Now we already have the standard supplier creation page and all, right? So what is this business case for this, for creating from here, like from the Visual Builder, another screen for
Okay.
suppliers?
So the use case, right? So like this is a page we already have, right? But there is a possibility that, okay, right? Some new page will be required, right?
Hmm. Okay.
That, okay, some page will be there. Or so, for example, in this only, right, some modification will be required or completely new functionality will be needed that is not there into the Fusion as of now, right? So how we can go and achieve that one, right? So for that one, right, we can go and create our custom page and then that page we can go and integrate here inside that application. So like whatever the page we have created, right? So this is that
Mhm.
application we have created. Now, once this got completed, right, what we do, we can come into the Fusion and we can integrate here. So when it is about the new functionality, right? So suppose some new, completely new requirement is there, which is not there into the Fusion. So we need the new screen for that one, right? So that time with the help of VBCS, we can go and develop that screen and then we can go and incorporate that screen into the Fusion. Because Fusion is a SaaS application, right? Software as a service. So we don't have the function ability to go and create a new page directly into the Fusion. Or we don't have the source code functionality that okay we can go and create there. So if we have to do any extension, if we have to do create any new pages, right, into the Fusion on top of the existing thing, right? So how we can
Yeah.
do? We can go and develop those pages with the help of VBCS, or we have one more Oracle Apex. So either with the help of Oracle Apex we can develop, or with the help of Oracle VBCS we can go and develop. And then once those pages got completed, we can go and integrate here into the Fusion. Then it looks like that okay it is an inherited feature of the Fusion only. It don't look like that okay it is a separate thing. So for that
Okay.
purpose we need to have the VBCS.
Okay. So no way, like we cannot customize this screen, what we are seeing, suppliers.
The existing pages,
Yeah, this screen, this page, what we are seeing, the actual screen,
yeah,
right?
so we can do customization, but there are limitations. So whatever
Mm.
options are available into the personalization, right? So
Yeah.
functional team can do those things, but each and everything we cannot do. Then
Yeah.
question comes about the new screen, right?
Mhm.
Suppose if customization are allowed, we can do the customization. But what about if we have to go and develop a completely new screen which is not there, right? So that we can go and develop from the scratch in the VBCs and we can go and incorporate here.
Okay. But to some extent, this page can also be customized, right? Using
Yes, yes,
personalization.
this page also can be customized. And
Oh.
recently, right, we will get the all the Fusion things are going to be upgraded to the Redwood. So in the Redwood,
Mhm.
right, we will have more customizations.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you need that Redwood training also, right, you can reach out to me because that is completely new feature. So as of now, if you said these pages are developed using ADF. Earlier we used to have the Oracle ADF application development framework, but now all these things are moving to the Fusion Redwood themes. So in that one, right, we will have more ability to make the changes directly from here only.
And it is also a low code type of thing, or
Yes, yes. Low that Redwood is like the extension. So with the help of VBCS, all these pages will be developed. So behind the scenes, right? So this VBCS code will go and open directly from here, from the Fusion, and then we can go and do the modifications.
okay, okay. But so many things like few Apex, all these things are coming. Which one like we need to concentrate? Redwood now. Redwood is another thing.
Yeah, so going future, right? If we have to do go for the Fusion, right? So I think
Yeah.
Redwood is going to be the one which will be there. So Redwood behind the scene, it will use the VBCS only. So if you know the VBCS, right? So Redwood is kind of a same, only some things are changed, but almost the development and everything is going to be same only. So for that one, right, we have to go for the VBCS. Oracle Apex, we have to go when we wanted to do the new development, right? Suppose not from the Fusion perspective, suppose standalone applications we wanted to do. Or if your existing things are ready into the Oracle Forms, right? Oracle Forms screens are there. So for those things, Oracle Apex is the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So VBCS and Redwood is needed, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Final.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.